India is going through a horrible time at the moment. In the last couple of 3 to 4 weeks, we have seen the spate of violence, particularly perpetrated by the Indian state against the Kashmiri people. But the violence and atrocity is not limited just to Kashmir, and as if the rest of India, the situation is hunky-dory. The centuries-long oppression of Dalits in every nook and corner of the country is today further exasperated with speed and ferocity. The very recent incident in the village Una in Gujarat, if it is just an indication as to what is that perceptible change that has been brought in by the new administration led by Modi and BJP, is that in the name of Hindutva, the new startup slogan of Modi-led BJP is kill people and care for cattle. 4 youth who were engaged in their traditional vocation of tannery, of skinning dead cows, was caught hold by the so-called Gau Rakshak Dal, that is cow vigilante committees, and beaten black and blue. Not only that, they were taken to the police station, and before the administration, that is the police, they were again assaulted mercilessly when the police were watching the entire incident. But what is different from this everyday event which happens to the unfortunate brothers and sisters of the Dalit community is that this time round, thanks to the awakening that was ignited by the Rohit Vemula agitation, and later or during the same time the agitation at the JNU campuses and all around the country, Dalits have decided to say enough is enough. The Una Dalit atrocity incident has triggered a new radical militancy amongst the youth of Dalit community, that they have decided that if cows are your mothers, better you bury them. Do not ask us to bury your mothers. It is your duty. Give them a cremation. And they have refused to touch the carcasses of the cows. And not only that, in Una, the Dalit masses have taken to the streets by dragging the carcasses, dead cow carcasses, and parade them and lodge them before the administration, before the buildings of the public administration, and saying that we will not do this job anymore. If the Brahminical administration, guided by Brahminical values, if this is your mother, then you better cremate them. And all around the country, the protests have taken place, including in the city of Bangalore, where New Socialist Alternative was also part of a common protest against the flogging of the Dalit youth in Una, it is categorically declared Dalits will not do menial jobs such as carrying night soil and also their vocation, so-called vocation of dealing with the carcasses of the dead cattle. This is a radical departure from a kind of fatalism that Indian traditional customs have forced upon these people. Today, thanks to once again remembering Rohit Vemula, his unfortunate forced suicide, it's a murder in the name of suicide, has given a new imagination to the Dalit youth that no longer we will take this oppression without defiance and militancy. New Socialist Alternative, from its very inception, has been one such radical socialist organization which doesn't parrot the question of class and class alone. In the peculiar situation, in the most despicable situation in India, caste supersedes everything in this society. Class and caste overlap each other. And in fact, if at all one can identify a working class in this country, it is the most oppressed Dalit and Adivasi sections who make the wealth of this country. But it gets unnoticed because of the strength of the working class as an organized force is still very minuscule, somewhere between 3 to 7%. And apart from that, it is the pathetic organizational capabilities, or it is the cynical attitude of the communist parties towards organizing the Dalits, which are the backbone of the working class in this country. The failure to see the importance of organizing the Dalits and recognizing the caste oppression in this society, that today many militant sections within the Dalit community have become pawns of various communal, casteist and capitalist parties which use them as a mere cannon fodder or vote banks, as popularly known in this country. New Socialist Alternative would like to salute the youth, especially the Dalit youth, who have decided to fight back. Fight back not just in a very empirical, intellectual sense, but actually take on the forces of communalism, the forces of upper caste Hindutva forces, and teach them a lesson and claim everything that belongs to them. The million march of the Dalits in Ahmedabad, in Gujarat, goes to show that Dalits have awakened. There is an awakening of the Dalits which is for good, and that has to be built upon. We as the New Socialist Alternative will cooperate with all those radical forces of Dalit community to take on this casteist communal system with complete residue, the muck of feudalism still intact, and we will be in the process, will be calling upon all the radical democratic forces to join the fight against casteism, alongside to finish off capitalism, which is at its weakest point at the moment globally, and India being considered as a developing nation, the practices of capitalism, the corporate capitalism, which happily embraces all feudal values to its fold, has to be exposed, and in that regard we will be striving along with our brothers and sisters who belong to Dalit and Adivasi communities. Thank you. Lal Salam. Jai Bhim.